Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Drevlin and this is my quest log. And it's finally time. I played through the game 4 times now, and I feel ready to start my loot walkthrough, as I did with Dark Souls 2 last year. So before we begin, I just wanna, say a couple of things. One, you might be hearing a slight, high-pitched noise in the background. I do not know what that is, and I can't get rid of it, so I'm sorry, but I hope that you can enjoy this walkthrough anyway. And the second thing is that this game has some issues with frame stuttering, so from time to time we might experience, just normal stuttering in the frames. It actually got worse when I had SLI on, so I just turned it off. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll just run smooth from now on. And when it comes to this guide, I will be approaching it in the eyes of someone who hasn't played Dark Souls before, never played any of the earlier ones or Bloodborne, anything like that. So in this first episode, you might hear me go through a couple of things that you might find unnecessary. But it is for those people who have never played a Dark Souls game before, and I want them to have this chance to actually, learn a couple of things. So, but other than that, I feel like we're ready to go. So, yeah, let's begin.
Yes, indeed. It is called Lothric, where the transitory lands of the Lords of Cinder converge. In venturing north, the pilgrims discover the truth of the old words. The fire fades, and the lords go without thrones. When the link of fire is threatened, the bell tolls, unearthing the old lords of Cinder from their graves. Aldrich, saint of the deep, Farron's undead legion, the Abyss Watchers. And the reclusive lord of the profaned capital. Yon the Giant. Only in truth, the lords will abandon their thrones. And the unkindled will rise. Nameless, accursed undead, unfit even to be cinder. And so it is that ash seeketh embers.
And there we have it. The oh so lovely intro to this game. So, let's see, what should we name ourselves? I actually haven't thought about that. But I do have one character. Let's see. Where do I load? Appearance. Oh, load favorite. There we go. Yes. Good. And let's see. What should we name ourselves? Let's just go with something simple, like, hi, my name is Crystal. And let's see here. All of these are just mostly, doesn't really matter, except the class and burial gift, which is the ones we will be focusing on. So class, this is how you start the game. And as you can see, they have a different starting gear, they have different starting stats. But one important thing to know is that this only really changes the beginning of the game. Because as you go on, you will level up and change these stats and find other equipment and form your own fighting style or play style, depending on how you like it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with the Pyromancer, because I feel this one is, I like it. It has an axe that I enjoy. You can use pyromancy flames, and also get a ring which boosts the pyromancy damage. So yeah, I'm gonna begin with this one, but others I know recommend like the Knight as a starting character. Has good armor, things like that. So the Thief is a bit more agile, don't have too much health, which we will go into discussing as we start the game. But Burial Gift, this is one item that we will begin the game with. So this is not too important, but it can change a little bit how we play the game. Life Ring, as it says, raises maximum HP. I think you get 100 more HP for this ring. Divine Blessing fully restores HP, but it is a consumable, so it will be gone as soon as you use it. Same goes with the Hidden Blessing, which increases our or fully restores our FP, which is mana, the thing, the resource that you use spells with and weapons skills. Black Fire Bomb, a couple of people tend to start with this one because it is actually a good item to throw at the starting boss. It's a bomb you throw that deals fire damage, but since I'm gonna be playing a Pyromancer, I already have fire. Fire Gem, when we meet the blacksmith of the game, we can actually infuse a weapon of choice to have fire elemental. So it's actually really good, according to me. But we will also find one quite early on in the game, so, do whatever you want. Sovereignless Soul, it gives us more souls, which is the currency to level up in this game, also to buy items. Rusted Gold Coin increases our item discovery for just a short while. I think it's like a minute, maybe something like that. It's not long at all, but if you're farming items, it's actually pretty decent item to use, but we will find these and also be able to buy them later on. Cracked Red Eye Orb, you use these to invade other players, the whole PvP aspect of the game. We will also receive these quite early in the game, so no need to worry about it. And a Young White Branch that you can use to blend into the environments. You will actually change into an item, let's say a bush, so invaders can't really find you, so you can use that as an element of surprise if you get invaded. But we will also find these and later on be able to buy them. So what I'm actually gonna pick is the Fire Gem. I feel like this actually does a tremendous amount of difference in the beginning of the game. And with that, let's start the game. On this first episode, I will be going through the Cemetary of Ash. We will fight the first tutorial boss and also make our way up to the Firelink shrine. The bell tolls and we awake in the Cemetery of Ash. Also, I won't go into much depth about the lore of this game. I feel that there are so many other great people out on YouTube and the net that actually does a very good job of that. So I'm just gonna, if you want to know more about the lore, just, you know, go look up any of the other people's. One of my personal favorites is ENB, Epic Name Bro. He can be found on YouTube. Just check out his videos. He has videos on Dark Souls 1, 2, and he's working through Dark Souls 3 right now. Really good. Just, you know, go with that one. Or any of the others. So, here we are. Cemetery of Ash, and this is us. And notes on the ground. Read and right stick, we can control our camera. Very basic stuff. Right button, regular attack. And as you can tell up in the left corner, the green meter, which is our stamina. With each hit, it goes down. And as soon as we get 0, we can't hit anymore. We need to back off and regain our stamina. Right trigger, strong attack. And you can actually charge this one. So if I tap it, it's a quicker one. If I hold it down, it's a stronger but slower attack. And these also cost more stamina, as you can tell. Press down the right analog stick. We target. And we hit him and kill. I didn't block there because this one tells us to, yeah. B or circle on PlayStation, you roll. If you don't move the analog stick, you take a back step. Also, you can actually backstep, hit. You will do a like jump forward and attack. And right away we see this like shiny over there, which, you know, really wants the player to go that way, which it is the correct way. But right away in this tutorial zone, which I love, they show us that there are branching paths and not all of them will lead us in the correct way. If you hold down the circle or B button, you will run, but it costs stamina, as you can see. And we hit a dead end with Soul of a Deserted Corpse. And these are the type of items that we can use to acquire more souls. Which you can see down in the right corner. I have 20 of them since I defeated the first enemy. Hi, man. Dead. Oh, and he actually dropped something right away. Cleric's Sacred Chime. Interesting. Yeah, you need these to be able to cast miracle spells that can be found during the game. And here we find the Ashen Estus Flask. Now, in the down left corner, you have the Estus Flask, and now the Ashen Estus Flask. Estus Flask heals HP. Ashen Estus Flask heals FP, the blue meter. Also, a good little trick that the game doesn't tell you. For instance, if we go in here and equip other items, for instance, the Soul of a Deserted Corpse, and we can equip the Black Separation Stone, and the Way of White Circle, just to show you something. And every time I press down, I go through all these items. But let's say I'm in a panic mode and I need to heal, but oh, I have the Ashen Estus Flask equipped. I need to go through all the items to get to the Estus Flask, which I use, let's see, it's square and X on the Xbox controller. If you just keep pressing down on the D-pad, it'll jump straight to the Estus Flask. So no matter where I am, it'll jump straight to the Estus Flask if I just keep on pressing down the D-pad. Very good thing to be wary of or keep in mind. And on the D-pad, right stick, you shift between weapons, left shield, depending on what you have equipped in right hand, left hand. Actually, I prefer the Pyromancy Flame in my right hand, so let's equip that. There we go. And keep on moving on. Left button, guard. Important thing. Right button behind an enemy, critical hit. So let's see if we can sneak up on him here. And critical. You get this cool animation. And what you want to do is actually just slightly push towards the enemy as you press the attack button. So you're actually like walking against his back and you will do it. Let's run over here. Oh, as you can see, ranged enemy starts to shoot at us with his crossbow. Left trigger, parry, repel attack, and after a successful parry, right button riposte. This is the parry. I suck at it. And if you time it right when you're about to get hit by an enemy, you will actually counter his attack. Like that. And much like the critical hit, you wanna walk slowly towards the enemy, so you're actually kind of like rubbing up against them, and then press your attack button and you will do the riposte. Which, fun to know, riposte does more damage than a backstab, so keep that in mind. Left stick forward and right button, kick. Let's see. Can be a bit tricky to actually get it going. Yeah, kick. This is good against enemies with shields, because, or at least smaller shields, because you can use the kick to kick away their shield and then open up for a riposte or a counterattack. So, Y or triangle, two-hand right weapon, and with the left trigger, while two-handing, use right weapon skill. And you might be wondering what the skill is. Actually, it's different on all of the weapons. So, first, two-hand. Costs a bit more stamina with the attacks, but does slightly more damage, I believe. And with the left trigger... Okay. What does that do? Our weapon starts glowing red. As you can see, the blue meter, it costs us some FP to actually use. If we go into our weapon here, hand axe, and you can see that if we press select and go to explanation, we can see this type of skill you may perform. Performing skill consumes FP. It is Warcry. If we go in, oops, examine the weapon. All the way down we have skill, Warcry. Let out a spirited Warcry that temporarily boosts attack. So as soon as we do that, it will allow us to do more damage for a short while. There we go. Over here, there's actually a note telling us to turn back. Ooh, spooky. And I will actually turn back for the moment, but we will come back here later in this episode, because I'm gonna go there. I just want something first. And with the X or square button, we use items. So healing, for example. And we change through weapons and toggle items with the D-pad. And here we have this lovely view. When we come up here, we can see the Firelink shrine that we are heading towards. And behind us, an epic castle. And our first bonfire. Rest at bonfire, restore HP and Estus supply. So for example, if I actually used my Estus flasks, like, oh my god, I need to heal, and also restore my FP, soon as I sit down by the bonfire, if I had taken damage, I would get fully restored HP and... Okay, first we gotta light it. There we go. And then we rest at bonfire. And as you can tell, my flasks get reset. And we get our first gesture. So as you can see, I have 3 and 1. Okay. Enemies down there. Let's just work our way through. I'm gonna go down here first and take care of a couple of enemies. And as you see there, I blocked. But for some reason I took damage. I will actually explain that as soon as I've taken care of these enemies. There we go. Yeah, this seems safe enough. So why did I take damage, you might be wondering. I have a shield I blocked. For that we need to go in here and actually look at the shield and use the explanation. The left, you know, what do you call it? Oh well, all of these are actually the attack power, as you can tell. These are meant for weapons, so our shield won't really have any good like physical damage. What you want to look at is the guard absorption, and these are actually percentage of the damage that you will block. So physical, if something deals pure physical damage to us, like that enemy did, we will block, if we hold up our shield and block it, we will block 52% of the damage. So I almost took half of what that attack actually did. Magic, if something is pure magic's elemental, I will block 63% of it. 46 fire, 36 lightning, 25 dark. Stability means that it costs less, the higher the stability, it costs less stamina for me to actually block attacks. So a great shield, for example, will have much higher stability, meaning I can block much easier with it. So we will try to look for shields during the game with higher guard absorption and hopefully 100% physical damage reduction. And over here, as you can tell, I should probably go through this right away so we have it done. So this is the FP cost of using the Warcry skill. The weight, as you can tell up in the right corner, we have equip load and weight ratio. We don't want to go over 70%, because after that we will start to go slower. The roll attack, the dodge, actually gets really clumsy and it's really not like usable anymore. So 70%, stay beneath that, very important. And here we have the damage that the weapon does, and as you can tell, it deals pure physical damage. You might be wondering what the 110 plus 11 means, and for that we need to go down here. Let's see. Oh, there we go. And these two attributes. This is strength, dexterity, intelligence, and faith. So the weapon scales with strength and dexterity. So the more strength and dexterity I have, the higher the plus will actually get. So plus 11. So if I increase my strength or dexterity, it will get plus 12, plus 13. And the 110 will get increased as I upgrade the weapon at the blacksmith later on. These stats can actually get increased if we upgrade the weapon, and you might find weapons later on with higher stats, like the lowest is E, so E, D, C, B, A, and up to S actually. And these are the stats that you need to be able to wield the weapon properly. Over here you can over here you can see what my stats are actually on the character. So for instance, if I didn't have, we have 12 strength and 9 dexterity. For instance, if I had 7 dexterity, I would not be able to wield this weapon properly. I would deal much less damage. Actually, this plus 11 would be minus something, maybe minus 50 or something like that. So I would deal much less damage with it. So you want to be sure that you can actually wield the weapons. And some weapons have status effects like bleed, poison, and frost. Bleed builds a meter, and when the meter is full on the enemy, it will actually trigger and deal like a quarter of the damage, or I don't know, a big chunk of damage, pure physical, on the enemy. Poison, slowly drains the enemy of HP, and frost does it so the enemy stamina regenerates much slower, so they can't move around and strike you as quickly. I think that's pretty much it. We can actually go into the player section and just see here how many souls we need to actually level up when we reach the Firelink Shrine. Vigor, how much HP you have, attunement, how much FP you have, and also the number of attunement slots down in the right, down here, that you have, which is slots that you equip spells with. Endurance, how much stamina you have. Vitality, how much, let's see, yeah, the equipment load, so you can carry bigger weapons or more weapons, heavier armor, things like that. Strength and dexterity, depending on what type of weapon I use. Intelligence, they increase, you need that for, sorceries and pyromancies, and faith is more for miracles and pyromancy. So pyromancy uses both of them. And then we have luck, which increases the item discovery rate. So yeah, sorry for that little intermission, and we will keep on going. Next note, pressing down the left stick while dashing equals jump. And what do you know? We have an item over there that we need to jump to. So hold down the circle or B button, run, press left stick, jump, and I missed it. On falling down, plunging attack will go back up and get that item. Actually, it's an important weapon. Attack button as you fall down, you will strike. Enemy down there. Enemy down there. Strike. Has a shield. Kick him. Oh, he actually dropped his shield, as I was about to kick him. Item down here. Fading soul. And the enemy actually dropped some. No, wait. He dropped the fading soul. You find fire bombs down here. Up around we go. And let's get that item that we missed. Titanite shard, and these are the items that we will use to upgrade our weapon when we reach the smith. Actually, a funny detail about jumping in this game, for instance, if you run and jump and keep holding the stick forward, you will make a small roll, but maybe sometimes you don't want to do that. So if you jump, run, jump, and then stop pushing the analog stick forward, you will simply stand still. Just a minor detail and might be useful sometimes. And in here, we enter this arena-looking area. Oops, grass. Now, any true person would actually have a bad feeling about doing this, so let's heal up. To a hand. Warcry, and let's remove the sword, because this is the first boss, the tutorial boss. And his name is Iudyx Gundyr. It's actually possible to parry him. I'm gonna try it just to show you. Some attacks are easier than others. There we go. That big sweep is actually the easiest one to counter. And his second phase, he morphs into this beast. It might get difficult to actually see what he's doing. Just try to stay on him, roll around. Don't get too overexcited about attacking him. Oops. And I died. That's actually the first time that I died against this boss. I beat him on my first try when I started playing this game, so of course things will go wrong when I record. Okay, second attempt. Over here we have our souls. Every time you die, they drop in a green, like, shining thing. You need to pick those up. If you die before you pick them up, they will get lost. Oops. Failed to counter. There we go. You should be entering phase 2 now, I believe. Yep. Oh, I forgot. I have pyromancies. During this phase, he is actually weak to flame. But you might also want to be You might want to try to stay close to him. Wow, this is going awful. Come on, third time's the charm, maybe? Where are my souls? Maybe I shouldn't try to counter him, since I'm actually quite bad at it. Ow! Oopsie daisy. Heal up. Second phase, here we go. What happened there? Oh, come on, kill him. There we go. What happened there is actually if you manage to hit an enemy, or sometimes even a boss. Let's see. Let's pay attention to what happens here. We get the Cold Sword, Embery Sword. So yeah, first of all, what happened there is that he got staggered, and during that time he can't do anything, and I do increased damage to him, so you just want to go at him. Receive the Cold Sword, an important item, and Embery Sword, which is up in the left corner. You can now see that our sign up there is actually glowing. And during that time, when you are embered, you actually have increased maximum HP, and also if you're playing online, that is the sign that you can get invaded. But you can also, you're also able to summon NPCs and other people to coming into your game and help you. And after each boss, we get a bonfire. Okay, so I died twice against that guy. That's pretty silly. Haven't died against him ever. But you know, as I said, once you press that record button, that's when things start to go wrong. Up here we find this broken straight sword. Bad weapon. Oh yeah, open menu, like we hadn't figured that one out already. Come here, buddy. That's the kick. And if you walk towards him like the riposte, you get that animation as well. Over here, Homeward Bone. You can use these to return to the last bonfire that you rested at. So if you're ever in a bad situation where you feel like you're about to die and lose all of your souls, you just use a Homeward Bone. Sometimes that's just better than to lose all the souls that you've been gathering up. Hello, boys. I'm a bit reckless here, I feel like. There we go. Nothing down here. So yeah, if any of you watched my other walkthrough that I did for Dark Souls 2, you know that I'm a big shiny hunter. I love all the shinies and I can't stop until I find them all. So oh, I wanted to kick him. Oh well. So yeah, this guide or walkthrough will be about finding all the shinies and, you know, giving a couple of pointers to make things a bit easier sometimes. I will, for instance, show you a couple of the NPC summons, or as many as I can, for the bosses of the game. So up here, we should have a shiny Ember, and these items. So if I die now, I won't be embered anymore. So the icon up in the left corner will stop glowing, and I can use an ember to restore it to glowing. So we haven't explored over. Yeah, let's take this side first. Nothing here, but shiny in the tree. A couple of enemies up here. And east-west shield. And up there we can see this skinny looking guy. I'm not gonna fight him right now. I will do that in just a few minutes. More ember. And let's take a look at that shield. Blue is better. So as you can see, it actually, since it's red, it weighs a little bit more. Has higher durability, all better guard absorption, and actually lower strength required to use it, so let's equip that one. It's just 3% more physical reduction, which is really the biggest issue in the beginning of the game, so, but we will find a better shield later on. And around this corner we have more shiny Homeward Bone. And with that we will enter the Firelink Shrine. And now we have a couple of NPCs to talk with. This will be the major hub of the game. We will return here whenever you need to buy things, when you need to level up, and also continue the quest lines of a couple of the NPCs here. So let's explore the place.
Ah, another one roused from the sleep of death. Well, you're not alone. We unkindled are worthless. Can't even die right. Gives me conniptions. And they'd have us seek the lords of Cinder and return them to their moulding thrones. But we're talking true legends with the metal to link the fire. We're not fit to lick their boots.
And another gesture.
Don't you think?
So one important thing in Dark Souls games is actually to keep on talking with NPCs until they start repeating themselves.
What a sick joke, asking us to seek the Lords of Cinder and return them to the talking truth.
Yeah, so he does it right away. Hello. And you might remember this mask from the beginning, or the intro sequence of the game. Or the tiara that she puts on.
Welcome to the bonfire, unkindled one. I am a firekeeper. I tend to the flame, and tend to thee. The lords have left their thrones, and must be delivered to them. To this end, I am at thy side.
And it is with the Firekeeper that we can level up.
Very well. Then touch the darkness within me. Take nourishment from these sovereignless souls.
And as you can see up here, what level are we at? How many souls do we have? And how much does one level cost? And one level, we increase 1 point in whatever stat that we so choose to increase. So if you hold it over Vigor, you can actually see that the HP line is actually a little bit marked. If we drop down here, it shows the FP, so you can actually quite easily see what you will increase through the stats. As you can tell, also the defense part of the screen is always lit, so no matter what you increase, your defense attributes will always increase. But I'm not gonna level up just yet, because I need to save my souls to be able to show you people a couple of things. But we should talk to her at least.
Ashen One, to be unkindled is to be a vessel for souls. Sovereignless souls will become thy strength. I will show thee how. Ashen One, bring me souls plucked from their vessels. Ashen One, to be
Okay.
Ashen One.
Thank you.
Well may the flames guide thee.
Before I go in there, let's just take a walk around this big room. First we have the thrones that they keep talking about. If we step up to the back of them, we can read some engravings. Saint Aldrich of the Deep, Ludleth the Exile, and you can actually see that someone is sitting in the throne already. Up here, Holy King Lothric, last hope of his line. Watchers of the Abyss, and Jorm the Giant of the Profane Capital. As you know, are the names that they spoke of in the intro cutscene. Why, hello there.
All that unkindled, and a seeker of lords. I am Ludleth of Corland. Look not in bewilderment as I say. I linked the fire long ago, becoming the Lord of Cinder. If substantiation be thy want, set thine eyes upon my charred corpse. This sad cadaver, no need to be coy. Have a closer look. Knowest thou of our purpose? 5 thrones will take 5 lords as kindling for the linking of the fire. The fast fading flame must be licked to preserve this world. A reenactment of the first linking of the fire. So it is, I became a Lord of Cinder. I may be but small, but I will die a colossus. Knowest thou of a spell?
Okay.
Now, do not be away over long.
So now that we've spoken to him, we can actually... It's actually right by the entrance. There's another floor, but there's really nothing up here on this side except this note. The bonfire will deliver thee to Lothric. So yeah. On the other side there's actually an exit that we will explore after we've spoken with all the NPCs.
A pleasure to make thine acquaintance, Ashen One. I am but a humble handmaid of the shrine. Weapons, armor, trinkets, and spells. I've lots of little things to ease the burden of a weary traveler. And yes, I'm undead too, but not so charitable as to give my goods away. Ashen One, fetch souls and bring them to me. As is thy wont, no?
So yeah, the old woman acts as the shop, and here we can also sell items, so if you find duplicates of weapons that enemies drop, you can sell them.
Ashen One, if my wares are not to thy satisfaction, bring me umbral ash. With ash, I'll fashion new wares. Is it not our sorry fate to sup on death?
And the meaning behind that is we will during this game find ashes, umbral ashes, that we can give her, which will increase her stock, like with new items or more items of the same kind, because some items are actually, you can only buy a certain number of them.
Knowest thou of that soppy gossip? That cordial intrusion layeth the path to embers? And so thou art in need of a soapstone, Ashen One. Then thy pockets will overflow with souls to trade to me.
The soapstone that she speaks of is actually an item she sells, and which allows you to summon people into your world and ask for help.
Ashen One. Is it?
So let's take a look at what she has. Embers, repair powder, so if you're ever out in like wherever and your weapon is about to break, you can use these to increase the durability. But every time you sit down at a bonfire, it actually resets. Your durability will get maxed out, so you hopefully shouldn't need these. Purple moss clump, cures poison, no need for that just yet. Fire bombs, we picked a couple up, you throw them at enemies, they explode, dealing fire damage. Prism stone, I'm actually gonna buy one of these, and you will see why in just a little while. Because you drop these on the ground and they shine, like marking a path, but we won't be using them for that. Homeward bones, if you ever need to teleport, we have the white sign soapstone that she mentioned. Leave white co-op summon sign, so you will leave a white sign on the ground, and if someone on the internet is around that area, around your same level, they can see that sign and be teleported into your world and help you. So you can ask them to help you through a difficult area or against a boss. So very helpful if you're running into trouble and just want to get through it all. Dried finger, this one is actually more for those who like to PvP, because if you get invaded and defeat that person, like a timer starts, I think it's like 10 minutes, and during those 10 minutes you can't get invaded again. But if you want to get invaded, you can use this dried finger and it will reset the timer. That's about it. Tower key, 20,000 souls. Key to the decrepit tower behind Firelink Shrine, which leads to the bell tower. I need this key to show you a couple of items, but that will be much later since I don't have 20k souls right now. Hopefully I will be able to do it at the end of the next episode. a couple of spells. Soul Arrow, a sorcery. And as you can see, you need intelligence to be able to use it. Oh. 10 intelligence, also 1 attunement slot. Fire and Dart. And Heal Aid, which is those are sorceries, and then we have miracles, which instead need faith, so you need 8 faith to be able to cast this. And she has a couple of weapons: dagger, short sword, scimitar, halberd, sorcerer's staff, talisman, torch. We will use this later in the game, so I won't buy it right now. Leather shield. No need to actually use it, but I'm gonna buy it anyway, because reasons you will see in just a few minutes. A couple of more shields, another armor, and bolts for crossbows and arrows for bows. I actually lost the word on that one. And I'm actually gonna buy the maximum I can carry with me, 99, which will be used in the next episode.
Ashen One.
And over here we have the blacksmith.
Well, a newcomer, I see. I am Andre. I serve at this shrine as a humble smith, forging weapons. You're in search of the Lords of Cinder, I trust. A toilsome journey, I'd wager. You'll require good arms. Let me smith you weapons. I am a smith, such is my purpose.
So yeah, big menu here. So reinforced weapon is simply upgrading our weapon. As you can see here, sadly, we need... Okay, I can't show that. But just above our markings over here, you'd see Titanite Shard. We need 2, we simply have 1. But if I had 2 and paid him 190 souls, we could upgrade the weapon to a hand axe +1. And you can see the changes to the right. So it'd go from a 110 +11 to a 121 +12. Even though the stats are still the same down here, D&D, it actually gets a slight increase. As you can tell, they are blue, and that's why we get a +12 instead of a +11. So then we have infuse weapon. So if we go in here, he can actually infuse them with stones or gems. Refined gem. Let's see. Can't remember what refine does. I think it... Yeah, it increases the attribute bonus. As you can see, the weapon goes to a CC, but it lowers its physical increase, or the base damage of the weapon. So if you have a high attribute bonus, like for instance later on in the game where we have plus, let's say, 40 strength and 40 dexterity, this might be better because the plus would actually be so much greater than the physical damage that we lose from the weapon. Raw gem takes away the attribute bonus. As you can see, the D&D just goes away, but the base damage of the weapon gets much more. And then we have the fire gem, which we actually can build. How about that? Same goes as raw gem here. Attribute bonus goes completely away, but the weapon gets 99 in physical damage and 99 in fire damage. So we have 2 types of damage. So if an enemy blocks with a shield that's pure physical, we can still deal a little bit of damage with fire. So these 2 are actually pretty good in the beginning of the game, because that way you can focus on leveling up survivability, like your HP and things like that. Or perhaps your weight limit, so you can carry better armors and simply upgrade your weapon and not having to worry about increasing your strength and dexterity. But I want to upgrade this weapon. I will actually infuse fire into another weapon that we will find in the second episode. you can actually reinforce bows, crossbows, everything. Everything except armors you can actually upgrade. Repair equipment, in case anything breaks, reaches 0 durability, you have to come back here and repair it. We can give him Estus shards, they are called. And with that we get more uses on our Estus flasks. And here we can choose how many of them we want. So if you're pure physical, like don't use any skill or weapon skills or spells, you might just want to go with 4 Estus flasks. If you're a spellcaster, maybe you want more Ashen Estus flasks, or maybe you want to go 50-50. The choice is up to you. I think I'm actually gonna go 3-1 and keep on going like that. And if we click here, no Estus shard in inventory.
Weapons and protection are sturdy enough by and large, but when overused, they'll eventually break. When their durability is low, repair becomes a necessity. Use a powder, or simply rest at a bonfire. But should chance impel them break, bring them me. I'll hammer them back into shape. They take no pleasure in breaking, I assure ye. So handle them with care, if you would. There are 2 ways to smith weapons. Simple reinforcement is one, and infusion the other. Reinforcement is straightforward. It strengthens a weapon without altering its property. Infusion is a more advanced form of smithing that infuses an element. Reinforcement requires titanite, and infusion requires gems. Bring the stones, and I'll do the smithing. It's my purpose, after all. In battle, your weapons are your only friends. Forge them well, and they won't let you down.
And the gesture, hurrah!
Another matter. Infusing weapons with gems requires a special kind of coal. My humble coals won't be any use infusing more unusual gems. I know, it's an awful shame, but it's all I have. Oh, please don't give me that look. Believe it or not, I'm quite thin-skinned. Oh, by the by, if you find any Estus shards, bring them here. They can be used to reinforce either of your Estus flasks. Without those flasks, you'd want for life or focus. And they'll always stay with you. Why not treat them well? Huh? Weapons and protection is what
Okay,
you
so he
I
repeats
think
himself.
So.
And that's our cue to
But
get
be careful,
out of
I don't
here.
want to
The place is bigger, it has these like side alcoves, but for now they are simple dead ends. But later in the game we will meet up with NPCs that comes here and lives here. So yeah, that's pretty much this whole place. But we still have things to do. For example, we didn't explore. Let's see, what should I do first? Yeah, let's go up here first. Up here, we have an exit. Nothing around the corner here. And this funny looking tree. A seed of a giant tree is yet to fall. I believe that every time you get invaded by someone and win, there's a slight chance that gets increased for every time that a seed will actually grow on this tree. A seed of a giant. And that's an item that you can use if you get invaded. Normally the enemies of the world will not attack the invader, only you. But if you use a seed of a giant, the enemies will actually attack the invader as well. So you can use that to, you know, trigger a trap of some kind. Up here we have a tower, a locked door, and you probably know what key we need to get in there. It's the 20,000 key. Soul of a deserted corpse, a ladder that we cannot reach, and there's an item on that roof. Normally you need to open this, take the way up over the bridge and actually drop down on this roof, and actually you can also reach that tower. But using this little tree here, whoops, it might take a couple of tries, but it actually is possible to use this tree as a ramp and jump up on this roof, and it is recommended doing this as early on in the game as you can, because the rewards are just insane. Yeah, there we go. Up on the roof we go. First shiny, Homeward Bone, 3 of them. Not that special, you might say. And you're right, it's not the real reward. Entrance, not going there yet. Gonna go around the corner. That's the skinny guy that I didn't want to fight just yet, because he's actually quite dangerous. So hopefully we can take him down. Around the corner we have this little bug. Kill him quickly. He will try to run away, and after a while it will just disappear, and after that you will need to reload the area to make him come back. And by killing him we get a Twinkling Titanite, which is a rare Titanite, like some certain high, like, I don't know what to say, like special weapons really. They will need Twinkling Titanite instead of normal Titanite to upgrade. Back we go to the entrance into Firelink again up here. And this is where the fun rewards begin. Carefully walk along the edge and out in the middle of the room here.
You. Me, pickled pea. Me, bumperum.
This is something that tends to come back in all of the Souls game, or at least from what I played, Dark Souls 1, 2, and now 3. This is a NPC that you can give gifts to. The only thing is that you need to like try your way and see what they actually want. So this is actually a couple of the items they want. So let's give them a firebomb. Do not use it, don't discard it, leave it. And you only need to leave 1. And when we pick up the item again, we will get a large Titanite shard. Next, Prism Stone. Leave it. And we get a Twinkling Titanite. How about that? Another rare one. And also, we want to leave him the leather shield.
No.
What?
No.
No, wait. Did I buy the wrong shield? Yep, I did. I'll be right back. Okay, back again. Sorry, bought the wrong shield, actually. The one that you want to buy, oh, silly me, silly moi, is the large leather shield, not the leather shield, the large leather shield, and leave that one. I was worried, like, no, wait, did they patch it? Did they do something? Like, no, it's just me. And you get another Twinkling Titanite. Hey-oh, we got 3 of them already. And over here on the ledge, Estus Shard. Wish we can give it to the blacksmith and increase our Estus Flask. How many we can carry with us. But the secrets doesn't start there. Over here, from like opposite of the entrance that you come into, these are illusory walls. Some walls in the game are fake, and you can actually strike them or roll through them to discover that they are hiding a path with treasure. Just be careful so you don't roll and fall off and die or something like that. Walk over here, drop down, and you will see that we are above and behind the biggest middle throne. And over here in the corner, we have a chest with covetous silver serpent ring. This is the ring that I really wanted before doing a couple of things. And what it does is actually fallen foes yield more souls. So having this one equipped will give us more souls. So getting this early on in the game will make it easier for you to buy things and level up, all that good stuff. So let's make our way back down to the smith, give him the Estus Shard, and finish up this episode. Because we have 2 more things that we want to do. 2 things to kill.
Just wasn't it?
Reinforce Estus Flask. Give him the flask. And then you need to sit down by a bonfire to be able to or receive that flask. So here, the coiled sword that we received after the Iudyx Gundyr fight, we will actually put it down here to create the bonfire. So with this one, we can finally use the travel option. Also, attune spells. If you buy or see more spells, you need to sit down at a bonfire to equip your spells. Organized storage box. Unnecessary items. Items that you feel like, I'm not going to use this one. If you feel like you still want to save them and not just sell them to the maid, throw them into the box. Just keep this area simple and clean. The less you carry with you, the less things you have to go through if you're looking for a certain armor that you found. Like, hey, I found this cool new helmet. I want to see what it says and what stat it has. You don't want to, need to go through like 50 different helmets just to find the one that you're actually looking for. So keeping your inventory clean is actually something I'd recommend. And Burn Undead Bone Shard, we don't have any. We will find these later on in the game, and they actually increase the strength of our Estus Flasks, so it will actually heal more health or restore more FP. But for now, let's leave. We have a skinny guy to battle. Also, just to mention, sometimes when you've been away and travel back to Firelink Shrine, the exits, like over here and the one up there, will have like a fog wall. And that's just because it's like a loading screen. So you won't have to wait for the outer area to load when you travel back here. So if you just walk up to the fog wall and wait like a couple of seconds, it'll go away and you can exit. So yeah, let's see if we can handle this skinny guy. First of all, no surprises. Let's kill these ones. Easiest way to kill this guy, he actually deals a lot of damage and has a decent amount of health. is to try to lure him and make him fall down. Let's see if we can get it. No! As you can see, deals a lot of damage. And you can't fully block all of the damage, so let's see if we can trick him up here again and get that. Using corners like these are actually the best way. But sometimes he's too smart for it. Whoopsie daisy. Oh, come on. Ha-ha! And dead. But the sad thing about luring him down this way is that he actually has items that he drops. But there's a nice little trick to it. So what you want to do is just wait a couple seconds, make sure that the game saves, and quit game. And when we actually go back into the game, at the spot that he was actually standing on from the first time, that spot will actually have the item that he was supposed to be dropping. And there we have it. And he drops Uchi Katana, masters his attire, and masters his gloves. Master's gloves. Yeah. And behind him, an item, but it's locked, or at least from this side. So he's actually worth a lot of souls for early on in the game, especially with the ring. You get 10% more, so that's 200 more. Let's go down here and use this bonfire now. We're gonna go back to the first one that we lit. Also, the weapon he dropped, the Uchigatana, is actually a really good dexterity weapon early on in the game. As you can see, it scales D, or only D, so not that great in dex scaling, but it gets better. though you need 16 dexterity to actually wield it, but it has a bleed effect, which is really, really good. So now let's use the travel function. This is where you want to go if you want to continue with the game, but we will go back to the Cemetery of Ash. We're gonna explore that area that told us to turn back. I simply wanted the ring before going in there, because I need to save up as many souls as I can, so I can buy that 20,000 key. Kill this guy. Kill him. And kill him. Fitting soul, yeah. Thank you. And with that, let's go through the deep water and see what hides behind. Up here, we see a shiny that's teasing us. You want it, but something big, shiny, dangerous is over there instead. Kind of a dangerous enemy early on, but if you simply... Oh, he got staggered. Try to stray behind him and roll. He's not that bad. He deals... Oh, come on, the range on this thing. He deals big damage, of course, since it's early in the game. But... if you manage to dodge him, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. He telegraphs his attacks quite easily. Oh, come on, where are you going, dude? Ow, as you can see. Deals quite a lot of damage just by that slide attack. And killing him gives us souls and a Titanite scale, which is another type of Titanite that you need for certain weapons. Boss weapons, actually. And with that, it's... yeah, that's everything for this episode. I feel like I've gone through it all. And we're just gonna return to the Firelink Shrine. I'm gonna be saving my souls, or actually, yeah, no, I'm gonna be using them to level up to be able to use a certain weapon in the next episode, but yeah, that's it. That's the tutorial zone. Sorry for taking a bit longer. I died a couple of times, but you know, hey, it's Dark Souls. It happens. Actually, it's kind of silly that I died against the tutorial boss. Haven't done that before, so you know. But yeah, next time we will be exploring the High Wall of Lothric. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, take care and happy gaming. Bye bye.